enhance our conceptual knowledge by now. We will use the Galilean transformation equations by now. From Galilean transformation equations. This is according to the earth, so now we need a reference of observer by now. So according to the reference, well, this is not the reference of earth, but this is the reference of observer. So we will use this value to the reference of earth, and so we will have v dash is equals to v minus v again. Yes, v dash is equals to, this is v dash, which is equals to v minus v of observer. So what we will have, this is the here v dash is equals to the velocity of air with respect to the reference of observer. Yes, this is the velocity of air with respect to the reference of observer here, and here v represents the velocity of air with respect to earth, and this is the velocity of observer. So what should be the value here? This value is, you remember, it is been written here, which is, it says minus v dash I cap plus j cap over root 2, and this is equals to I cap Vx plus j cap Vy minus, what should be the value here? The velocity of observer is doubles of its original. This is I cap, so this is 4 I cap. Okay, this is 4 I cap. Now again what we will do? We will compare the coefficients again, and we will have a new value by now. So what should be the new values here? Again comparing the coefficients, we will have comparing the coefficients of I cap and j cap. We will have saying according to the I cap, this is minus v dash over root 2, and this is equals to Vx minus 4. This is according to the coefficient of I cap. Okay, according to the coefficient of j cap, what we will have? We will again have minus v dash over root 2 is equals to Vy. Yes, we go to values here, and we will use the value of Vx and Vy respectively. So if we put Vx is equals to 2, if we put Vx is equals to 2, what we will have the value of V dash here? The value of V dash will be equals to So why did we put Vx is equals to 2? Because we remember the component saying the x axis in this direction is the doubles, and increasing the direction will change the reference for the air flow from north direction to the northeast direction. That's why we use Vx is equals to 2, and then V dash will be equals to 2 root 2. Okay, this is the value of V dash, and if we got the value of V dash here, and then now what we will have the values for Vx and Vy respectively. The Vx value is equals to 2 again, okay, and the value of Vy will be equals to minus 2, okay. So we will have V dash is equals to 2 root 2, and now this is the value of Vx we have assumed, okay. So what should be the value of Vy by now? So Vy will again equals to minus 2 kilometer per hour, and this is the 2 kilometer per hour. We got the value for Vx here, and we got the value for Vy here, and now we will get the velocity of air with respect to the frame of reference of Earth. Yes, VAE. Now VAE, velocity of air with respect to the frame of reference of Earth. This will be equals to 2 I cap minus 2 j cap kilometer per hour. Okay, so this is the answer which we are subjected to find out. I hope that you got all the concepts which have been discussed in this example, and if you have any doubt, then you can ask it through the website links given in the description section there. Well, if you got any question or any queries, then you can go backward and then see the videos again, because I think that I have discussed all the important concepts step by step within this numerical here. Well, let me be aside, you can take a screenshot for your reference, and then we will proceed with a new numerical example here. Okay, well, now in the form of complications, we got new example here with more complicated and with more deep concepts, and not so deep, but with the concept we have discussed earlier, been discussing here step by step and again. So let's find out the new example here. Let me introduce you with the example. Well, students, if you see, the videos are going pretty much longer. It is about to an hour. So I would request all the students to keep patience and watch the videos properly, because every time in a 1 hour video the concepts are discussed again and again by different teachers, and that's why we all teachers are try to explain you all the complicated things in the same manner as we are explaining in front of you in our offline classes section. So that's why we are using our best, we are giving our best to you. So that's why I request all the students to keep patience and watch the videos properly, so that they can get something that which is important for them. Well, this is off topic, so let's get back to the whiteboard here and discuss a new example, saying that, well, this is a new question here, which is saying that here is a body which is moving in a direction, then it will change its direction after some time. So let's see how the things changes and what is the impact on our reference here. Well, a body is moving with a uniform velocity of 60 km per hour. Yes, this is the let's say this is the velocity of a body which is about 60 km per hour in the east direction. And it has been continued for 40 minutes only. Yes, this is the direction which is being continued only for the 40 minutes. Yes, it is going in the direction for the 40 minutes only. But after 40 minutes, it moves in the direction towards east, making an angle 45 degree with north. Yes, this is more complicated here. It is again keep on moving in this direction, but it is making an angle 45 degree. You remember the 45 degree angle will represent a new direction here, which is the northeast direction, for example, saying the northeast direction, and it continues in the same speed for 20 minutes. Yes, it is going in this direction for 20 minutes in this direction with the same speed, and finally it moves for 50 minutes in west. Yes, finally it moves 50 minutes in the west direction. So we got three directions here, the east direction and the northeast direction, and then the west direction, or you can say this is the negative east direction. Well, that has no pretty much more meanings here. Okay, so what we are subjected to calculate? We are subjected to calculate the average velocity throughout the motion. Yes, we are subjected to calculate the average velocity throughout the motion. What should be the average velocity throughout the motion. So let's find out. Beginning with the example, we will use all the things which have been discussed step by step here, and we will go step by step and proceed in the same way. Okay, so what should be the solution here? The observer is moving in the east direction, so we will again draw our axial representation here. Yeah, this is the east direction, this is west again, this is the north, and this is the south direction, and this is our origin. The observer is moving first in the east direction. Let's say we will draw it here because we need a bigger diagram by now. That is only for reference. Okay, I hope that that thing is in your mind, so we will not draw it again and again. We will just proceed with our example saying that the observer is moving in this direction. Okay, the observer is moving in this east direction, and let's say he is moving for 40 minutes here. Okay, this is the east direction. Then he moves making an angle 45 degree by now. Yes, this angle you can say is about, this is the 45 degree. Okay, he is moving in this direction, and again he is moving for 50 minutes in the backward direction by now. So let's find out the 50 minutes here. He is moving in this direction for 50 minutes, and then we are joining this line just for our reference. This angle also must be 45. Well, we do not need this angle to explain our figure here. This is the angle here. Okay, so let's say he is moving about 40 minutes, so we can say this is 40 I cap for our reference. Okay, here it moves for 20 minutes, then we say that 20 in sense of what? In sense of I cap or in sense of j cap? Well, we have no idea here because we will use all the possible axis to explain our thing here, and he is again moving with 50 I cap again, but with negative direction. Okay, so this is it. So let's say it is making an angle theta here. So if we calculate theta here, then we can calculate that how much far it has been gone. So let's begin with the example here saying that AB is equals to 40 I cap minutes. Yes, let's say AB is equals to 40 I cap. What it is? It is only minutes, because we are not talking about the velocity component. We will use the time components for our reference, and then we will use our velocity component step by step. This is the 40 I cap minutes for AB, and for BC it is, if you remember the axial or if you remember the vertical or horizontal component we have discussed for the northeast direction in the previous example, then you will get the thing here saying that I cap 20 cos of 45 degree plus j cap 20 sine of 45 degree, 20 sine of 45 degree. Okay, so this is the horizontal component and this is the vertical component. Okay, so what the values here saying that 20 over root 2 I cap plus j cap, this will remain here. Okay, so this is the remaining here. Again, this is the CD here. Also, CD will equals to minus 50 I cap minutes. This is again in minutes. Okay, the units are here. AB is equals to 40 I cap minutes, BC is equals to 20 over root 2 I cap plus j cap minutes, and CD is equals to minus 50 I cap minutes. So we get all the time components been written on the whiteboard, if you can see yourself. So the total displacement, what should be the total displacement here? The total displacements here are total displacement, which is AD. Yes, A to D is the total displacement. What it is? A plus B, AB plus BC plus CD. What is the value of AB here? AB is equals to 40 I cap plus BC is equals to 20 over root 2 I cap plus J cap plus CD is equals to minus 50 I cap. This is the total displacement. Yes, these are all the time components here been written in front of you. So, what we will end up having if we calculate all these values in our sense, then the values will be 10 root 2 I cap plus J cap minus 10 I cap. Solving these two values and solving this one particular value also, we will have 10 root 2 I cap plus J cap minus 10 I cap here. As we got all the total displacement, this is the total displacement here. So, what should be the average velocity? The average velocity is equals to total displacement upon total time taken. Yes, the total displacement upon total time taken, the time taken to travel this particular distance here. So, average velocity, you say this is the VA and 10 root 2 I cap plus J cap minus 10 I cap above upon total time taken, which has been 40 plus 20 minus 50, sorry, plus 50. This has been calculated positive here because the time should be calculated in magnitude only. You cannot say that if you are going to a side and then if you came back, then you cannot say that the time is equals to 0. The time must be the multiple of you are going in the same way and you are coming back in the same way. Okay. Let's say that if you are going from your classroom to your home, saying that it is about 10 minutes. Okay, from your college to your home, let's say the distance is about 10 minutes to the distance will take 10 minutes to travel. So, if you are traveling, if you are coming from your home and then when you go back, so it should be calculated about 20 minutes, it should be counted about 20 minutes, not 10 minus 10, but 10 plus 10. So, that is why we write here plus 50 here. Okay. So, solving all these, I will not take any much more time to solve these things. So, we will have average velocity, saying the velocity average, the average velocity must be equals to 10 root 2. So, 10 should be taken as common and then we will reduce all the zeros step by step here. So, we will have 1 upon 11, 1 upon 11 and root 2 minus 1 I cap, root 2 minus 1 I cap plus root 2 J cap. I hope that you got the concept here. This is the average velocity. This should be written in kilometer per second. Well, we haven't given the values of even the distances in kilometer or in meter. So, I should write here in the meter per minute, because we have given minutes here. Okay, so this should be the meters per minute. Yes, this is the meter per minutes velocity is here. So, the magnitude of average velocity, what should be the magnitude here? Saying the magnitude of average velocity by now, let's say if we calculate this one, magnitude, let's say this is the magnitude of average velocity, which is been considering as root 2 minus 1 upon 11 square plus root 2 square and whole thing is under the root. Okay. So, let's say if I Well, I hope that you remember the figure here. Okay, so what should be the value of average velocity by now? This should be equals to 1 upon 11 under the root 5 minus 2 root 2. Okay, so this is the total average velocity in meter per minute. Meter per minute. Okay, so this is what we are supposed to calculate, and I hope that you got the concept. And from north, the tangent of angle must be equals to the root 2 minus 1 and upon root 2. Well, we have one more easier example. I hope that you got the concept here. Let me be aside, and then you can take a screenshot for your reference, and after that we will proceed further with a new example. Hope that you guys are done with the screenshot. So if you're done with the screenshot, then let me discuss one more thing here. You have to keep in mind that we are talking about the axial representation. So the east, west, north or south, such kind of direction represents the axis here only. You need not to get confused when it has been discussed that the particle is moving either in the east direction or in the west direction, in the north or the south, or the northeast or the north south. When it has been discussed only the east or west south, then you will use the I cap only, and when it is being discussed for the north or south, then you will use the J cap only. But if anything which is been tossed upside, yes, if anything that is been tossed, if it is been tossed upside, then the component J cap which is along the Z axis should be used. Well, this is not being used in our numerical example, and this is not so pretty much higher calculus which is being used in your BSc first year examination. These are some most important examination. We will discuss one more example, and then we will leave this up to you. Okay, so let me clear this off, and then we will proceed further with a new example. Well, the things which has been discussed in your BSc first year physics syllabus are not so difficult, but also these are not so easy. So you have to use your conceptual knowledge, because BSc is pretty much different than your previous examination you have given for the 12th class and for the 11th. And the student who has passed BSc first year within this session, they got a huge congratulations from me, because they will have to suffer for the BSc second year examination. Yes, either you start preparing for yourself within these lectures, or you will have to suffer your examination for the next year. Okay, so the next example here, which is been discussed, which is to be discussed here, that a particle is moving along x-axis of a stationary reference frame. Okay, this is the angular representation, saying if any frame of reference which has been inclined, the inclined reference frame concept, which we have discussed in the early stages of Galilean transformation equations. Okay, let's say a particle is moving in x direction of a stationary reference frame. Yes, the particle is moving in a x direction of a stationary reference frame. So now we will subject it to find out the trajectory for the same particle, in another reference frame which is inclined which is rotating with angular velocity omega. So what we are subjected to find out when origin and z axis of both reference frame are consistent. We will not use that. It means that there is variation only in two axes, saying only the x axis or the y axis. The origin is the same and the z axis is the same. So it means the frame of reference is rotating in the way. It should be look like this. Saying this is our stationary reference frame. This is the x axis, this is y axis, and this one is the z axis, and this is the origin. And then another reference frame which is been rotating with an angular velocity omega, saying this is the x dash axis for the another reference frame, this is the y dash axis, and the angle is keep on increasing because the frame is rotating with an angular velocity omega by now. But the origin is the same, saying the o dash is the same, and the z dash is again the same. So there is only change in only the x axis on the y axis. Let's say this is the frame s dash for our reference, and this is the frame h, which is the stationary frame. And according to the question, a particle which is moving in x direction, yes, let's say this particle p is here and it is moving in this direction. This is the particular direction, saying the I cap should be the unit vector which has been considered. Okay, so it is moving in the positive x direction. So we are subjected to find out the trajectory of this particle for the reference frame s dash also. Well, this is the angle omega here, so the angle will keep on increasing like as the omega t. Remember why did I written omega t here? And if you don't got the concept that why did I written omega t here, then please go and watch the third lecture and then you will get to know that why did I written omega t here. Well, we will this figure is only to explain the things. We will not use the figure pretty much more here. We will use only the mathematical expressions for our reference. So let's begin with the mathematical expressions here. Let's say the particle has a velocity, saying if the particle is moving with a velocity v here, if the particle has a velocity v, then x coordinate for the stationary frame of reference, the x coordinate will be equals to vt, y coordinate is equals to 0, and again the z coordinate will again equals to 0. So this is what it is. Well, this is the thing that you can write yourself because this is easier to understand. For the rotating frame of reference xyz, using Galilean transformation for the rotating frame of reference, for the rotating so for the rotating frame of reference, what the values we will have? For the rotating frame of reference, we will use x dash. If you remember, the x dash will equals to x cos of omega t plus y sin of omega t. X cos of omega t plus y sin of omega t. Okay, this is for the x axis, and for y axis it is equals to y dash is equals to y cos of omega t minus x y cos of omega t minus x sin of omega t. So we will use the values here, the x values here and the y values, and we will put all these values and we will find out what should be the changes. For z axis it has no changes, so saying that the z dash is equal to z and it is equals to 0. So there is no changes for the z axis. Okay, we don't think so that I don't think so that we will need this figure anymore. Okay, so we will put the values here. So if z-axis is equals to 0, we will not discuss the z-axis again. Well, we do not need this particular axis here. So let's skip this one and proceed further with these two axes, saying the x dash is equals to the value of x here is Vt. So Vt cos of omega t, but y is equals to 0, so we do not need to consider y also here. Again for y dash, what we will have, y again equals to 0, the value only remains is for the x axis, saying the Vt sine of omega t. Okay, the x dash or the y dash values is being calculated, and the z dash is again equals to 0, so the z dash is equals to this. Okay, we do not need z dash. Thus the coordinates of particle in rotating reference frame are. So what should be the coordinates here? So these are the coordinates, saying x dash is equal to Vc cos of omega t and y dash is equals to minus Vt sine of omega t. So these are the coordinates for the particle in the rotating frame. Okay, so these are the coordinates here. So these are the coordinates for the particle in the rotating frame, and by now we will eliminate t for our reference. So eliminating t, we will have x dash square is equals to y dash square, and this value will be equals to Vt square. Okay, so this is the magnitude representation. So the equation of circle, yes, this represents the equation of circle of radius Vt. This is the well, this is not equals here, this should be the plus sign here. Yes, this is the equation of circle. You remember, if you compare this as x square plus y square is equal to a square, where a is the radius. So this above equation is the equation of circle. Yes, this is the equation of circle with radius here. Vt is the radius. I hope that you can get the concept in these similar ways, because it will be more easier for you. I think that this could be calculated by you in a pretty much easier manner, in the manner we have discussed here. Well, we are being given two more examples to left, but we will discuss only the one which has been important. Okay, so we have a collision example here. So we will use the concept of angular momentum, the conservation of angular momentum, and we will discuss the example in the same way. So first of all, let me be aside, and then you can take a screenshot for your reference, and then we will proceed by clearing of this example here. Hope that you are done with the screenshot. So let me clear this off, and we will proceed further here. So the example saying that the position and velocity of two particles are given. Here the position and velocity of two particles. The position and velocity of two particles are given that r1 vector, r2 vector, and v1 vector, v2 vector. Okay, so these are the position and velocity which have been given to us, and we are subjected to prove that these particles will collide only if these particles will collide only if r1 vector minus r2 vector into v1 vector minus v2 vector will be equals to 0. So let's find out if the thing is equals to 0, if the statement is correct, as its statement should be correct. Okay. So let's begin with the example here saying that the position of first particle after t second. What should be the positions here? This is the initial position and v1, v2 are the initial velocities. Okay, so let's begin here. The position of particle after t seconds. Let's say this is the position vector r here, which represents the position here. So r1 vector must be equals to r1 vector plus v1 vector t. This is the position for the first particle after t seconds. Also for the second particle, let's say this is the r2 vector, which is equals to r2 vector plus v2 vector t. Okay, so this should be the values here for the new position vectors after t seconds. So the position of both particles must be same at the time of collision. Yes, at the time of collision, the position of both the particles must be the same because they will collide each other. Okay. At the time of collision, the position of both the particles must be the same. Okay, so the positions must be the same, so that's why you can say that r1 vector must be equals to r2 vector. Yes, so you can write here that r1 vector plus v1 vector t must be equals to r2 vector plus v2 vector t. You remember something is coming here? Yes, the thing is coming here, which is saying that r1 vector minus r2 vector, this is equals to v1 vector minus v2 vector into t. Sorry, this is v2 vector minus v1 vector. v2 vector minus v1 vector equals to t here. Okay, so we will multiply both sides by v1 minus v2 vector. So we will multiply all these sides here, saying that let's say this is, if we take this one particular, let's say minus is here, multiplying both sides with v1 vector minus v2 vector. You will remember the thing will come to you. So this is equals to r1 vector minus r2 vector cross product. Yes, this should be the considered in the cross product, because every time the vector multiplication should be represented by the cross product, and the scalar product can be represented by a dot product. Okay, so this is v1 vector minus v2 vector. If you multiply v1 vector minus v2 vector here, let's say what will happen, v1 vector minus v2 vector into, sorry, the cross product here, v1 vector minus v2 vector into t. If you remember something that the cross product of same vector, let's say this is the a vector, and if you are multiplying a vector in the same sense, this should be equals to 0. This is the vector multiplication identity, if you remember yourself. So this value, yes, this value must approach to 0. Yes, when this value approach to 0, you will end up having something like as r1 vector minus r2 vector cross v1 vector minus v2 vector, and this whole thing will be equals to 0 here. Okay, so this is what it is. This is something that we are subjected to prove ourselves at the time of collision. If we have assumed here that at the time of collision, yes, at the time of collision, we have assumed that at the time of collision these two position vectors must be same, and that's why we have proved the quantity here. So this is what we are subjected to prove, and hence we got our result here. Yes, this is the proof here. So you can get your answer in the same way which we have discussed here. Let me be aside and you can take a screenshot, then I will talk about something about this example. Okay, so these are pretty much easier example, but not so easy because the deep concepts are being using, like at the time of collision you are subjected to use these kind of phenomena here. Within the examples, the numerical example that we have discussed in our sequence, in our series, then you are supposed to come up with the knowledge of all the numerical approach, and that's why we have discussed these examples. Well, these examples are pretty much important according to your exam point of view. Sometimes, certainly sometimes, one or two examples can be asked within these kind of questions. Well, this is our first unit, the first chapter of our first unit. And for our first chapter of your first unit, these are the pretty much examples numerical approach, so that we can enhance your numerical approach. Well, this is all for today, and thank you very much for watching this video. And if you hadn't subscribed the channel yet, then please go and subscribe the channel and press the bell icon for your future notification. And if you want to learn something new, and if you have learned something new from this video, then please like this video and share this video with your friends, and stay with the Mehta PG College online study portal, so that we are keep on going and keep on growing and enhancing your knowledge one by one, day by day. And thank you very much again for watching this video. Have a great day, happy learning, and this is Mehta PG College online study portal signing off.